received a message from a guy asking me how to set up derailleurs on a mountain bike. Sounded like a good idea to me, so let's get to it. Let's see how we can set these derailleurs up. The brake is just rolled up out of the way so I can get to a little cover. I've already pulled that off, so that's where you put the cable in. Pretty standard there. The cable housing is already in place. Cable housing in place. So the cable just has to be strung through when the time comes. Okay, so now on the derailleur, we're sitting in the highest gear position, which is where it'll sit with zero tension, no cable. So we can see we've got the set screws here and here. This top one right up here, what this one does is that sets for your highest gear, your smallest sprocket back here. And this back one here, this one sets your limit for how far you can go up into the first gear, your biggest sprocket here. This set screw here adjusts how far this pulley, top pulley, sits from the chain rings. So you want to adjust those before you ever get the cable on there. There's zero cable pull anything. You're perfectly in your highest gear. It's 10th gear in this particular case. All the way maxed out, you're in first gear, right there. That's where she likes to go. Okay, that's exactly set up how you want that before you ever touch the cable to it. These screws have nothing to do with cable tension whatsoever. They're limiting screws. This screw here, as I was telling you, limits how far this pulley right here is from this chain ring or this sprocket. And you want it about 5 millimeters, somewhere in there, so it holds the chain in there real nice, doesn't make any noise, just works smooth as can be, and that's how you want that to go. Cut off all the way, comes all the way down to your highest gear, and that's where you want that to sit. Okay, so your set screws are all set up properly. Now from there we need to string the cable through, and then I'll show you how to adjust that. Okay, you can see that hole right there on the shifter. That's threaded where the little dust cap, it's a plastic cap with a Phillips head, goes in. We'll pull that Phillips cap, that's where the cable goes in. I've already got this in the right gear, so it's a straight through for the cable to push it through. So let's show you that part real quick. The shifter right here is all set up. Got the cable, you just work it through. First off on this cable, let me show you here. You can see, there we go, you can see on the end of that, that's a soldered cable. I get the good ones, the slick stainless. They've got a soldered tip on them. I get those as opposed to like the Walmart cable. The Walmart cables have different ends. You know, such as there'll be a shift end like on that and a brake end on the other end. They're kind of a universal cable. You would clip off the one you're not using, then use it. Well, these ones with a soldered end are so much better because you already have to work it a little bit to find the right hole and kind of work it through. It's just kind of a feel, but you get it through there. You can see how I kind of work it. With a frayed end from cutting the cable, that wouldn't go well at all. It just pulls right through just like it should. From there, take our Phillips screwdriver. This is that little plastic cap. Kind of see it there. We take that, and in she goes. There we go. And it just screws right in. Just a little plastic cap. There we go. Sits right in place like it should. I already have my cable housing cut to length, so you string your housing through. So it goes like that. So I'll go straight in. String that through. Okay, so we can see here, cable's already strung through. It's loose hanging out. You can see right here where it's going to hook in. Got the little plate that holds the cable, and use an Allen wrench. It's a metric Allen, I think it's a 5 millimeter. Tightens this in to hold the cable. Pretty straightforward from there. And the whole idea is to set it up so that one click equals one gear in every direction, and you know you've got it from there. The rest is really quite simple. So let's get to that point and I'll show you what we've got going on. Got the cable put through. Tension on this is adjusted. Did not trim it yet. Then you can see on here, we've got full range out of this. We're sitting in the 10th speed position, no noise, quiet as can be. Go one click, she goes one gear, nice and quiet. One click, one gear. Go in the other direction back, one click, drops the gear back. Takes it all the way up. Pretty low just a bit here. all the way up. There we go. See one gear, see one click, one gear, all the way through it. A little bit more there. That off. Okay, there we go. That was clean. Bring it up. That's cleaner. Just a little bit more right there. Okay. Kicks down, clean. Kicks up, clean. Adjustment. Bring it all the way down. Make sure she kicks all the way down like it should. There we go. This is as clean as it can be. Yeah. One click, one gear, one click back, one gear back. That is set up pretty well. Cut the cable to length. Don't forget your end grip on the end so it doesn't fray out on you. I like to bend them around so that no matter what gear you're in, it doesn't get in the way of the derailleur or the chainring or the spokes. Might make a funky noise. Worse yet, take the crimp off and fray your cable. Costs you a few bucks in the end, just no fun. So it's just a little thing, but it really makes a difference. Now, as you can see here, we're all the way in first gear. Pedal this thing. All the way down to 10th gear. Nothing binds up, nothing hits, it's clean. One click equals one gear, same in the other. There we go. One click equals one gear, bring it back, one click, one gear. Clean, crisp how it should be. Now when you're setting these derailleurs up, a thing to remember, always make sure your front is in the middle chainring if you're running multiples. This one is a 1x10, so it's always in the middle chainring position. But if you're running the old 3-ring or 9x3, anything like that, have that front in the middle chainring position when you adjust it. You're not cross-chaining either direction, and it just works so much better. That's really about it. So you just gotta remember, these are your limit screws. So you set those up first. That way you don't go off and you don't go off and you're getting far enough. The more you tighten in, limits how far it'll go. So the more you tighten in, the less distance it goes. The more you back it out, the further distance it goes. Same on this end. So you set those up first. Set up your angle so that you're about 5 millimeters away from the chain on your first gear, and you're golden on those. You leave those alone from that point on. The rest is all in the cable setup. One click equals one gear, and you'll be fine. The last step in this process, kind of an obvious one, put that brake lever back where it's actually functional. I just tighten it just slightly just to hold it out of the way. So it's sitting back into place. I like him down a little bit. That's where I set his bike up originally. Right about there is where we have it. Tighten that thing back. That's the last step. From there, that's how we set the rear derailleur up. Now this being a 1x10, there was not a front derailleur setup. So we did the Origin 8 chain device. It does hold the chain on exactly like it should. Chain ring in the middle chain ring position, we're kind of like them there. And the biggest thing in these, this rod right here is a set screw in the end. You set your distance on it, and you set your up and down before you tighten the clamp, so you can just see a little bit of light all the way past and all the way on both sides. So that way it makes no noise, but the chain cannot come off. Perfect setup is very, very simple. It's a 5-minute install. Okay, front derailleur. I'll give you a quick rundown on this one, because it's really close to what we just did on the rear derailleur on Mike's bike. This happens to be that Schwinn Rocket 3, but these front derailleurs are all basically the same. You've got your two set screws here. Those are your limiting screws, just like we had on the rear derailleur. And you'll see on here, the innermost one is an H, the outermost one is an L. That's kind of deceiving because your low gears are a little one on that side, and your screw on this side, the H, sets your limit for the highest on this side. And those do the exact same thing as the limits on the rear derailleur. They limit how far you can go. The more you screw them in, the more it limits how far this derailleur can move. So you set up just like your rear derailleur that you can get to your high gear, your low gear, string your cable, one click equals one gear, and you're good to go for your tensions. It's really the same as what we just went through. You can see one click, good. One click, one click, one click, there it clicked, one click. It's pretty good all the way through. Now, with that, pretty simple. You can adjust your cable tension a bit right here. on the barrel adjustment to adjust a little bit tighter, a little bit looser on the cable. In this particular case, I would actually go just a little bit tighter. Pull that cable over just a little bit, and that's going to quiet that down. There we go. That just quieted down that middle ring. Now let's make sure there's still one click, one click, one click, one click. You notice I do all my adjustments with the rear chain. In this case, it's sitting in about 4th gear position, but you want that about the middle, so you're not going cross chain in any particular gear you adjust in. But it's really the same as what we did on that rear derailleur. These things all kind of work the same way. And a little dog hair in there. This thing needs cleaned. In fact, that's next. This bike's going to get cleaned and serviced. But your high adjustment, adjust how far over this chain ring you can go. Low adjustment, how far over the little one. Too far over, you lose chain. Too far that way, you lose chain into your frame. Neither one's a good deal. You have to stop, rechain on and figure out why it's doing it and adjust. Pretty straightforward though. Now for the fine-tune adjustments, like what I just did, that is on the barrel adjustment right here. I just tightened that up about a half a turn is all I did. A little bit goes a long ways on those. But it's very simple. You can do the same on the barrel adjustment for the rear. That's where you do your fine-tune adjustments. These are real straightforward though. It's exactly what we showed you on the rear derailleur.